A Learning Theory Guide. Chapter 5. A Learning Theory Guide. Accelerated learning / improve your ability to learn / increase your ability to learn. I don't care what anybody says, there are limits to intelligence as opposed to wisdom. Wisdom is intuitively knowing what to do next. Everybody with wisdom has the same basic intuition and knowledge of their true natures. Intelligence is the ability to make connections, generate ideas, and solve problems. There are certain limits. Some people cannot think as well conceptually as others. A lot of people can't get past grade 8 math. Accelerated learning covers memory, speed reading, improving brain power, improving the different types of intelligence. Learned helplessness is the opposite of accelerated learning. You learn to give up on doing things because you believe you'll fail. With accelerated learning, you believe your brain power is as good as the brain power of 99% of the people. There are a few freaks who seem off the charts, like memorizing pi to 500 decimal places or figuring out astrophysics. A positive mental attitude is an essential part of AL. You have to believe you can do it, be naturally interested and inspired to do it, and get some kind of joy out of it. In grade school, it was kinda cool to be a smart-ass kid who fooled around because TV shows portrayed rebels or troublemakers as cool, free-thinking characters, but I could care less about image. I was a good kid. I liked school because I was naturally curious about life. I'm still the same. I make it a point to exercise my creative intellectual faculties every day. The more relaxed and stress-free you are, the better you learn. They use meditation and yoga to help you relax. They make a big deal out of types of learning as in sight, TV, hearing, listening to lecture or tape, touch, reading, doing. Who cares? If you're interested in your life, you have a natural thirst for knowledge. The means don't matter much. It's all fun to you, even the tedious stuff is all right. The 4 Rs of memory are review, registration, retention, recall. There are many memory techniques. The best is to think, understand, concentrate on the material. Power reading is simply focusing on what you're reading, trying to understand it. People often read words while daydreaming about something else. I don't believe in speed reading because you don't understand a lot of what you read. I look at the introduction, chapter 1, table of contents, anything relevant in the table of contents like an appendix, the last chapter, and sometimes the index. You look at that and you can get the main points of the book. I write the way I talk, as simply and clearly as possible. Everything should be spirit and intuition. My youthful spirit was the intrinsic thirst for knowledge and love of learning. I'm not in a hurry to accelerate my learning. I do it because it's part of my life force, part of my fun in life. I don't use techniques or strategies. When I go jogging or swimming, I reflect on my life, my thoughts, and what I've recently learned. How to learn and teach. The easiest way is to try to get the kid or the adult to tap into their natural sense of curiosity and inspiration before they get brainwashed by the world as to what constitutes success and fun. They did studies on monkeys. When they started rewarding them for things they did anyway for fun, the monkeys stopped doing them on their own. So a human being has a choice. Pursue what's natural inside of you. Buy into the world's system of rewards and punishments. That's it, try to get someone to learn for a natural love of it. If you can't do that, offer them either rewards or punishments. When I was in the military, they made us learn a bunch of pre-packaged bits of information. They tested us on it every few days. You either passed the test or you failed the course. It was totally a reward-punishment system. If you look up Montessori or Waldorf approaches to education, they start with the individual, focus on what they like, then develop from there, whereas the system starts with X number of courses in grade school, imposes them on you, then lets the chips fall where they may with the students. Some like it and succeed. Others find it artificial and turn off, but that's our system. It's not right, but we cannot afford to treat every child like a natural genius and help them develop. Make a choice and live with it. There has to be a middle ground between following your natural inclinations and living within society, which means following the rules and earning money to pay your bills. If you start with a kid as a freewheeling hippie parent, the kid was no system of structure, order, or morals. All kids are brainwashed and stupid no matter how smart they appear to be. They all want to be superstar athletes, movie stars, fashion models, etc. That's why they all need some kind of system of rules. It's even in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. Proverbs 22:6. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old they will not turn from it. There are thousands of learning books and articles. I just told you what's in all of them put together that's wise and good. Don't try to complicate the process of learning. If you do, you're just another asshole like all the stupid academics trying to justify their meaningless jobs with pedantic sounding bullshit. There are other ideas of learning like the following. The coolness idea: make something appear cool or popular in the peer group. Make the culture a certain way, people confirm. Look at the Muslims, they're taught to conform from childhood, and if they don't, they're heavily punished. See the YouTube channel Apostate Prophet. Do favors, be a friend. If you help someone, they feel like they owe you and will try to be good students. Some people are naturally stupid. It might seem easy and obvious to you, but the person does not have the gray matter to learn it. People have personal problems. A kid from a home of poverty and domestic violence is barely surviving. How can he be a good student? People develop at different ages. Some kids are late bloomers. By 23, everybody should have a mature brain. There seems to be a critical period for some things. All early learning is a waste. By 7 years old, everyone is pretty well equal. If you present stuff like computer programming early, the kid might catch on, then he's got it for life, but if you wait until the kid is 20, it might be too late. All true geniuses with a strong sense of natural inspiration living in a modern society where they have the means and the ability to develop, always end up living by their own natural genius. That's what enlightenment is. School is irrelevant to the genius. They're going to go their own way regardless of whether school is good or bad. Everything in that fake field called educational psychology is a big bunch of crap like these bubblehead ideas. McGregor's X and Y theory. Motivational orientations. Brain lobes. Left and right hemisphere. Cognitive mode specialization. Stages of psychomotor development. Cognitive roles of language. Piaget's developmental stages. Every academic nerd has an ego. He or she wants to feel like they're contributing something unique to their field, so they do their stupid little studies that are in the stupid social science journals out there, but they don't realize that a human being is not scientific. They're spiritual aesthetic beings. They can't be studied scientifically. Don't do the scientific method on people. It's stupid. Then they teach this other stupid idea, which is if you can't measure it, it's not real. Every human being is a loner with their loner minds. You can't measure that. There is no science of human behavior, even though the American Psychological Association has 52 subcategories. It's madness, and most people are brainwashed into thinking somebody knows something deep and advanced about human life that they don't know, because we're brainwashed that way, to buy into the lie of experts in everything, even in human life. What about love and learning? Love the person. Try to help them. Nothing has changed since the mythical King Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs. How you learn/learning styles. 1. A good learning style has to be somewhere between a romantic, poetic sensibility and academic standards. It doesn't matter how students get there as long as they learn the basics of the 3 Rs, then some science and the passion of life through literature and a love of being alive. A learning style is how you learn, not what you learn. Some people like to listen, some like to read, some like to see, some like multimedia like TV, some like computer software, others like to do it with their own 2 hands. Your child might be a natural learner and learn regardless of mode of presentation, but some kids tend to one or two learning styles. Discover them, then use those learning methods the most. Try number 370.152 or LB1060 at the library. How you learn/learning styles 2. People say they pursue education for an intrinsic thirst for knowledge, an intrinsic thirst for self-mastery, better job, more money, increase in factual knowledge, to learn new skills, appear wise to others, make sense and understand life, learn new things, solve problems, develop creativity, impress chicks or guys, think more critically and clearly, become independent and self-sufficient. The Kolb learning cycle. The Kolb learning cycle requires 4 kinds of abilities if learning is to be successful. Concrete experience, CE, do something. Reflective observation, RO, think about it. Abstract conceptualization, AC, think up new ideas around it tailored to what you want out of the deal. Active experimentation, AE, try out your new learning to solve your problems. The Kolb-Biglan classification of academic knowledge is 1. Abstract reflective, 2. Concrete reflective, 3. Abstract active, 4. Concrete active. Adults tend to see education as one big holistic essence. Children tend to see it as chopped up into different subjects because of their schooling. Every field has some factual knowledge and creative thinking. Even the hard sciences and math require creative thinking in order to find new practical uses for theories. The Biggs taxonomy solo for classifying levels of understanding stands for structure of the observed learning outcome. The taxonomy is an hierarchical classification that defines 5 levels of understanding, each of increasing complexity. Prestructural, unistructural, multistructural, still does not address the key issues. Relational, makes sense in relation to the topic as a whole. This is the first level of true understanding. Extended abstract, conceptualized at a high level of abstraction. It's easy to teach and learn facts. It's harder to teach and learn the concepts and ideas behind the facts, the motives and underlying reasons. Honey and Mumford, 1982, offer a 4-fold classification of learning. Activists respond most positively to learning situations offering challenge, new experiences, and excitement. Reflectors like structured learning activities. Theorists like logic. Pragmatists like the practical applications of knowledge. Students experience the same teaching in different ways. Students approach learning in a variety of ways. Students may be more motivated when offered several ways or approaches to the subject matter, as with a lecture, a video, a slideshow, a podcast, a guest speaker, etc. Students need to be able to understand what they learn. Have patience with students. Some need time to grasp new paradigms like the variable in algebra or how a computer works. Teachers need to understand where students are starting from. Empathize with their personal life too. For example, a new immigrant from Siberia is more worried about fitting in than algebra, at least for the moment. Fat kids are always worrying about how fat they are. History kinda doesn't matter that much to them. Students cannot just sit there passively. They must be motivated and participate in order to learn. Small group discussion can be a powerful learning tool. Learning best takes place in a relaxed environment. Students like to see the relevance of what they're learning, at least after high school. In grade school, students learn anything they're told. In college, students ask, why is this important to me beyond the grade evaluation? Too much material too quickly turns students off. Students must understand basic principles and concepts before they can move on to more advanced ideas. Students in general are massively brainwashed in tying education to their marks in a course. Very few are there for the spirit of learning with little or no concerns about their marks. Biggs, J. 1993, From Theory to Practice, A Cognitive Systems Approach, Higher Education Research and Development, Australia, 12, 1, pp. 73-85. Biggs, J. 1999, Teaching for Quality Learning at University, Society for Research into Higher Education / Open University Press, Buckingham. Biggs, J. and Collis, K.F., 1982, Evaluating the Quality of Learning, The Solo Taxonomy, Academic Press, London. Biggs, J. and Moore, P. 1993, The Process of Learning, Prentice Hall, New York. Honey, P. and Mumford, A. 1982, The Manual of Learning Styles. Kolb, D. A. 1984, Experiential Learning, Prentice Hall, Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. Basic Learning Theories. Learning is acquiring knowledge either through experience and analysis or by more formal methods like reading a book, listening to a lecture, etc. Conditioning is learning through repetition and habit like Pavlov's classical conditioning. Modeling is imitating others. Operant conditioning is learning to do something because you either get a reward for it or avoid a punishment. When reinforcement does not occur, the result is extinction. The conditioned response goes away over time. Positive reinforcement leads an increased likelihood that the reinforced behavior will occur. Punishment reduces the likelihood that the behavior will be done again. Partial or occasional reinforcement leads to a stronger learned response than continuous reinforcement because the person or animal knows that if they keep trying, they will get the reward. All this conditioning stuff is called behavior modification when psychologists use it to try to change human behavior. Learning motor skills is basic for kids to get around, pick things up, lift things, etc. There are many types of specific learning skills for children. Some are parts versus whole learning, answering questions, finding knowledge, active learning, passive learning, use the TV to learn, use the computer to learn, numbers, the alphabet. In my opinion, wisdom starts when a person realizes they have innate knowledge that they were born with that is different from what they're taught and/or indoctrinated by. They realize this is their true nature given to them by either God or nature and accept it as their highest wisdom in life, this intuitive flow of thoughts within themselves. Experience in the world followed by analysis of it is sometimes called reflectional review. This is a higher form of intelligence. Book learning or academic learning could be as simple as memorizing facts, memorizing ideas and concepts, or taking several facts and analyzing them to find the right answer or generate new ideas, as with creative thinking. There are individual limits. A lot of people can't figure out those analytical questions in the graduate record exams for entry into grad school. You need to have several ideas in your head all at the same time. If I was educating a child, I would try to expose them to all the many different things within the realm of life, then encourage them to pursue what naturally interests them. They should eventually start to focus on only 2 or 3 things they really like to do that have positive, educational, inspirational value. Get to them to start focusing on their future life's work now by spending their time pursuing these passions. Try to avoid frivolous pursuits like video games, comic books, too much TV, etc. You can learn all the standard learning theories at 2 sections in the library. Psychology, number 150-159. Education, number 370-379. For me, the only way to learn is to love what you're learning. Be interested and curious about it. Some people have a natural intrinsic thirst for knowledge. If you're like this, you're lucky. Most people don't have this curiosity. They just want to make money and be entertained. I believe the only way to be enlightened is to discover your true nature, who you were naturally born to be, then honor it every day by releasing most of your natural energy to that end. That's why I wrote my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment. The most enlightened people develop an intuitive way of figuring out the best solutions to a problem very quickly regardless of what it is. When you're learning low-level stuff that involves mostly memorization, give yourself a small reward every hour or 2 like a cup of coffee. The 3 types of memory are: 1. Encoding the new information. 2. Short-term memory, up to on day. 3. Long-term memory, beyond 1 day. Working memory is like a blackboard that's erased within a minute. Iconic memory is a picture in your mind. Explicit memory is trying to recall something. Implicit memory is memory for skills. Forgetting from long-term memory occurs mainly through disuse or from interference from other items. There are various methods to improve long-term memory like mnemonics, keywords, peg words, and loci. Problem solving is also called reasoning. Reasoning can either be 1. Deductive reasoning, going from the general to the particular. Deductive reasoning is the type most often used by detectives when solving crimes. It is based on contingencies. If one thing happens, then it follows that something else is likely to happen. A syllogism is a logical conclusion based on deductions. In many instances, we don't have access to all the facts, so our deductions could be wrong. 2. Inductive reasoning goes from the particular to the general. You see something that revises a piece of knowledge you had, so you adjust. Let's say you think all Muslims are terrorists based on what you see on TV, but then you meet one who runs an animal shelter and you now realize that not all Muslims are terrorists. Some are caring people. Characteristics of people with active superior minds. 1. Free thinker, constantly thinking. 2. Natural curiosity. 3. Learning is fun. 4. Prefer complex ideas to simple ones. 5. Calm disposition, not easily rattled to be scatterbrained. 6. Bohemian tendencies. 7. Constantly learning. 8. Focus on the few things that really interest them. 9. Listen to themselves first before what the system intellectuals say. 10. Very good critics of their own ideas and other people's ideas. 11. Choose your subject area well so that you come up with relevant, good ideas. For example, I choose to study my life. I wouldn't waste my time on fashion because I think it's all crap, but some people think so-called fashion designers are worthy of genius status. 12. What others think doesn't matter. I trust myself over the human race because I think most people are timid sheep, too afraid to go against conventional wisdom like all the social sciences. 13. Don't live in any limited box of thinking. 14. Open-minded to new ideas by talking to people, watching TV, reading, thinking, etc. 15. Live by creativity as an artist of your life. Auditory sequential, as, learner info/verbal learning. Auditory sequential or as learners supposedly learn better by hearing sounds, words and spoken language. Their strength is verbal, which is words and language. Supposedly, women are naturally better at verbal ability. Verbal-oriented learners are supposedly more logical and orderly than visual-spatial learners. They like lists. They are good at memorizing things by rote. They are not very creative. They prefer to deal with problems that already exist and have one right answer rather than to deal with open-ended problems. Everything is about straight and orderly rules for them with neat categories for everything. Supposedly verbal learners, women, are good with words and not very creative. Supposedly guys think better in pictures than girls and are more creative than them. Brain-based learning. Neuroscientists study the organic brain and try to figure out how it works, then apply their findings to improve education, how we think and learn. Nowadays they do a lot of brain scans. One thing they found is that the brain does not compartmentalize abilities. Virtually any time you think, the whole brain is active. There is not just one area. Because we know this, we should focus less on trying to split up intelligence and learning into a bunch of categories and subjects and try to help people firstly love the process of learning, then explore their curiosity and interests. asct.org/research-a-brain-based-learning-resources.aspx, brain-based learning resources. I'mBest.org, International Mind, Brain, and Education Society. LearningandtheBrain.com, Learning and the Brain Society. sedel.org/scimath/compass/v03n02/1.html, how can research on the brain inform education? Southwest Educational Development Laboratory. Brainology.us, the Brainology program. edupln.com/group/BRIN-based TAKHing techniques, brain-based teaching group. dana.org/neuroeducation, neuroeducation resource page. radteach.com, brain-based learning. successinteaching.info. Visual Spatial Kinesthetic Learning, VSK/picture learning. VSK learning uses the physical, spatial, and temporal relationships of objects, concepts, or images in and through space and time. You can look at something, then mentally recreate it in your mind and move it around. Mechanical people need this kind of intelligence to predict which way things will go when they screw them or bolt them. I noticed on the standardized firefighter tests, they had lots of questions about screwing hoses into fire hydrants and stuff like that. Supposedly, men are naturally better at visual spatial ability. From a teaching and learning point of view, they say if you draw mind maps and Venn diagrams of ideas, VSK learners, mostly guys, will understand the subject better. So when teaching any subject, the advice is to present the material like a flowchart rather than just paragraphs and lines text. VSK learners like pictures, diagrams, maps and videos. They like to draw out their ideas. They like to see something being done rather than just hearing about it or reading about it. They like to create as with drawings, models, making plans of their ideas, etc. They would rather see the movie than read the book. wiscmapping.com. Emotional Intelligence Info. Emotional intelligence is about 1. Empathy, feeling what others feel. 2. How to be relaxed and avoid stress. 3. How to decrease conflicts with others. 4. How to have good relationships. 5. Know yourself to be stable and strong. To me, it's one of them psychobabble terms that some psychobabbleist, Daniel Goleman, created in order to convince people they were deficient in emotional empathy so he could create a mini-industry by selling books, tests, and workshops on it. He makes the fallacious assumption that the human personality can be dissected into different, discrete parts, one of which is emotional intelligence, but it's all a crock of crap because we're holistic beings. Everything we think and do is tied into our emotions. We can't separate them from the rest of ourselves. Learning Style Guide. According to Howard Gardner, the 8 types of intelligence are linguistic, logic, math, music, hands-on action, visual spatial, interpersonal, self-introspection, nature. There is also audio learning and street smarts plus intuition, which is wisdom you're born with. howardgardner.com. asalefportraitonline.net, buy test what is your learning style? learningstyles.net. lbpride.net/learningstyles.mi.htm. vark-learn.com. Chapter 2. A Learning Website Guide 1. Child Development Theory Websites. honolulu.hawaii.edu/intranet/committees/facdevcom/guide-bk/teach-tips/piaget.htm, Piaget's cognitive stages. Piaget.org, Jean Piaget Society. unige.ch/Piaget, Jean Piaget Archives, University of Geneva. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Jean_Piaget, Jean Piaget's Theory of Development. ehow.com, Physical Activity and Child Development. gulfbend.org, Major Child Development Theories. ncrl.org/sdrs/areas/issues/students/early cld/ea7lk18.htm, Theories of Child Development and Learning. Learning theory websites at DMOZ ODP. DMOZ ODP has these subcategories. Look them up if you want. Learning theories are supposedly about how people learn. Every individual is a loner, learning either by natural inspiration or reward and punishment. akat.com/reasoning.htm, reasoning and being rational. Many teachers expect students to be rational, but don't explain what that means. Improve your reasoning. An essay by Rick Garlikoff. angelfire.com/mt/roofonfire, roof on fire, report of a training course on experiential learning, including methods and theory. brainconnection.com, brainconnection.com, an online source of information about the brain for educators, parents, students, and teachers. files.eric.ed.gov/fulltext/ed410226.pdf, multiple intelligences, Gardner's theory, provides full-text access to the ERIC digest of this name, which examines the theory of Howard Gardner relating to multiple intelligences and how it might relate to student learning. infed.org, infed.org, resource for educators and others interested in informal education, youth work, community development, and lifelong learning. infed.org/moby/john-dewey-on-education-experience-and-community, John Dewey and informal education. Read about the life and works of a man considered to be the father of educational philosophy. mediafrontier.com/article/btmm/btmm.htm, business thinking meta model, describes the model, which is composed of three thinking patterns such as proactive thinking, reactive thinking and passive thinking. metodo-ritmia.com, Rhythmia, describes a form of music education and of motion activity aimed to bridge a gap left by the traditional teaching methods. portals.wi.wur.nl/msp, MSP resource portal, practical information on facilitating multi-stakeholder processes and social learning, concepts, methods, tools, tips, examples, literature, and links for interactive decision-making in sustainable development. shell5.tdl.com/j/metalearn, the Metalearning Lab, dedicated to increasing people's capacity to learn, improving the performance of individuals and organizations. thomasarmstrong.com, Dr. Thomas Armstrong, educator and psychologist in the fields of multiple intelligences, explanation of the myth of AD/ADHD and the natural genius of kids. Suggests strategies for nourishing each child's unique developmental potentials. Learning theory websites 1. learning-theories.com en.wikipedia.org/wiki/learning_theory_left parenthesis education right parenthesis allpsych.com/psychology101/learning.html en.wikipedia.org/w/index.php ? Title=learning_styles, learning mtech.net/learning_theories.htm cte.umdenge.edu/active_learning/index.cfm, active learning strategies. educationatlas.com eduweb.com elearnspace.org mtech.net/learning_theories.htm en.wikipedia.org/wiki/social_learning_theory eric.ed.gov aaroncunior.com/portfolio/ms-portfolio/ide621/ide621f03 production/learningtheory.htm ewenger.com/theory explorable.com/cognitive-learning-theory exploratorium.edu/ifi/resources/constructivist-learning.html gamethod.net infed.org/biblio/b-learn.htm, learning theory. What is learning? infed.org/moby/learning-theory-models-product-and-process innovativelearning.com/teaching_methods.html instructionaldesign.org/theories instructionaldesign.org/theories/social-learning.html urodl.org jblearning.com learndat.tech.msu.edu/teach/teaching_styles learner.org learningandteaching.info learningandteaching.info/learning/theories.htm Learning theory websites 2. learningdomain.com learningevolution.com learning-theories.com, lifecircles-inc.com/learning-theories/learning-map.html, livestrong.com/article/23828-social-learning-theory-in-children, mofet.macam98.ac.il/chdml/maftech/a1/1learn.htm, learning and learning theory, multiage-education.com, multiage-education.com/multiagen-b/theories.html, texascollaborative.org/learning_theory.htm, transformativelearningtheory.com, vark-learn.com/english/index.asp, voices.yahoo.com, learning theories, emotional intelligence websites, gottman.com, goldman.com, emotional intelligence, eiconsortium.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations, eqperformance.com, Institute for Organizational Performance, bring emotional intelligence into organizations, unh.edu/emotional_intelligence, knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu, emotionaliq.com, equniversity.com, Emotional Intelligence Assessment, Training, cleardirections.com, assists people and organizations reduce stress and increase emotional intelligence through coaching and seminars. Emotion websites, aco.org/information/support/psychological-emotional.aspx, classof1.com/homework_answers/psychology/emotional_isolation, psychology, emotional isolation, clevelandclinic.org/socialwork/ccr emotional_and_psychological_supp.htm, emotional and psychological support, cncfhope.org/psychological_and_emotional_support_for_families, cptas.com/pa.html, psychological and emotional disability assessment, csun.edu/tilde-bet20526/lu3.html, the logic of emotion, dailystrength.org/c/physical-emotional-abuse/support-group, darkpersonalities.com, emotional healing@warpspeed.com, emotionalhealthonline.com, emotionalintelligencecentral.org, emotionalliteracyeducation.com, emotional-literacy-education.com, emotionalsupportanimals.org, emotionalsource6val.com, for police and others who mediate, emotionsrule.com, emotionsuniverse.com, socialpsychology.org, socialthinking.com, worldofemotions.com, personalityresearch.org, methods and theories, education, websites, blogs.setonhill.edu/mike blog, a personal inquiry into the scholarship of teaching, by Michael Arnzen, edc.org/cct/SA2000/8, Academy for Teaching Excellence, a standards-based professional development program which uses student work to improve the teaching of science and mathematics, mtech.net/learning_theories.htm, learning theories, links to learning theory sites, hoagiesgifted.org/montage/v1n3p1.html, montage, vol 1, number 3, devoted to explanations of human growth and development arising from the various child development theories, rapidintellect.com/aeqweb/cho27244j.htm, the search for meaning in educational research. This article explores different senses of the concept of meaning in educational research, presenting meaning as personal, the researcher's quest for meaning through research, contextual, meaning in relation to linguistics and culture, and shared, through communication, offering illustrative examples from the literature and from her own work. scil.stanford.edu, Stanford Center for Innovations in Learning, conducts research on how to teach and how people learn. Includes list of study projects and events. Chapter 3. A Learning Website Guide 2. Learning Style Websites 1. A learning strategy or style is a person's way to learn. Learning is the ability to understand information and solve problems. Metacognition is the process of learning how to learn. Everybody has their own unique style, but there is plenty of advice out there to help you be a better learner. Try number 370.152 or LB1060 at the library. 5 minutelearningmachine.org, Memory Tool for Sale. AboutLearning.com. AcceleratedLearningMethods.com. AcceleratedLearning-online.com. AdultLearn.com/learningstyles.html. BedfordsTMartins.com/lore/strategies, statements of teaching philosophy. BEST-TEACHing-7132-learning-and-teaching-strategies. blog.verbalchameleon.com. BeerIron-basedbusiness.com. Dr. Ellen Weber provides interesting, educational, and informative posts on how to get the most out of your brain. BrainConnection.com, an online source of information about the brain for educators, parents, students, and teachers. BrainConnection.com, this site features education, conference, a library, and professional development resources related learning, the brain and brain development. Also includes brain teasers and games. Brainhe.com/students/types/learning-strategies.html. classroom-assistant.net/teaching.html. classroomda.com. cldinternational.org. education.com/definition/learning-strategies. education.com/definition/learning-styles. education.com/reference/article/effective-learning-strategies. education.com/reference/article/learning-styles 1. educationatlas.com/student-learning-styles.html. educationbug.org/a/learning-styles.html. educationplanner.org. education-portal.com. educhoices.org. edutopia.org/multiple-intelligences-learning-styles-quiz. ehow.com/learning-styles. elearning.com/learning-styles. e-learningstyles.com. elsevier.nl. mtech.net/learning_styles.html, learning styles, emerging technologies. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/angel-_left-a_new_environment_for_learning right. hoagiesgifted.org. Learning style websites 2. ingstyle.htm. howtolearn.com. howtolearn.com/blog/howtolearn_blog.html. howtolearn.com/learning-styles-quiz. howtosetup.com. how-to-study.com/learning-style-assessment. ils.nwu.edu, Institute for Learning Sciences. infed.org, resource for educators and others. infed.org/thinkers/et-dewey.htm, read about the life and works of a man considered to be the father of educational philosophy. innovativelearning.com/teaching/learning_styles.html. inspiration.com/vlearning/index.cfm. instructional-design.org/concepts/learning-strategies.html. jamesnicholaspublishers.com.au/learntachbk.htm, explores major and current themes in the learning and teaching process. jedsundwall.com/how-to-learn-anything-anything-including-awesomeness. jocktl.blogspot.com/2008/learning-strategies_26.html. journals.cambridge.org. joyfuljubilantlearning.com. k12.albemarle.org/technology/dicoma technology and differentiated instruction web resources. ksi.cpsc.ucalgary.ca/ksi, Knowledge Science Institute. kukrl.org/sim/brochures/ls overview.pdf. kukrl.org/sim/strategies.shtml. latitudes.org. ldlink.coe.utk.edu/learning_strategies_cur.htm. ldonline.org/articles/learning_strategies. ldonline.org/educators/strategies/learning. ldpride.net/learningstyles.me.htm. ldpride.net/learningstyles.mi.htm. ldpride.net/learning-style-test.html. ldpride.net/learning-style-test.html, What is your learning style quiz? ldrc.ca/projects/me inventory/midas.html, What are my learning strengths quiz? learn.com. learn2.com. Multimedia tutorials enable you to learn. learn2study.org/teachers/learning.htm. Learning and teaching. learning2011.com/strategies. learningabledikids.com/home_school_info/learning_styles.html. learningandteaching.info/learning/learning_styles.htm. learningdisabilitiessuccess.com. learningInStyleSchool.org. learningmethods.com. learningpaths.org/papers/paperstrategies.htm. learningrx.com/learning-styles.htm. learningrx.com/types-of-learning-styles-FAQ.htm. learningstrategies.com. learning-strategies.com. learningstirategIEcenter.com. learningstyles.net. learningstyles.org. learning-styles-online.com. learningtechniques.com. learningtechniques.com. learnmoreindiana.org/need-to-know/pages/learningstyles.aspx, Learning Styles Assessment. learnmoreindiana.org/need-to-know/pages/learningstyles.aspx, Learning Styles Assessment. leopard-learning.com/learningstyles.html. lib.upm.edu.my/2stem.html. libraryinstruction.com/info-tech.html, Learn about how some people teach information technology skills. lifehack.org. lifehack.org, a blog that focuses on ways to organize and increase productivity in your life and in your business. mindhacks.com, inside your brain. lionden.com/learning_styles.htm. litamind.com/learn-anything. literacynet.org/icons/chapter03/index.html, Learning to learn, activities and handouts. literacynet.org/lp/learn-to-learn/home.html, Learning to learn with style. literacyworks.org/mi/assessment/find-strengths.html, multiple intelligences assessment. lozanovi.hit.bg, describes desuggestive learning and offer advice on how to use it. ltcconline.net/greenl/courses/tutor-training/learning-styles.htm. lux.ucs.indiana.edu/peach, how does the brain store a mind? managementhelp.org/trng_dev/methods/on_line.htm. markwall.com, math teaching. mcw.edu/mph program/current students/online learning strategies.hdm. media.mit.edu explores how new technologies can enable new ways of thinking, learning and designing. media.otago.ac.nz/r73sjldjm2/yp0nabcd/managing_your_learning.pdf, managing your learning. media.otago.ac.nz/r73sjldjm2/ypzero_nabcd/managing_your_learning.pdf, managing your learning. mediafrontier.com/article/btmm/btmm.htm, describes the model, which is composed of three thinking patterns such as proactive thinking, reactive thinking and passive thinking. mindjet.com, mind-map.com, mindmappingstrategies.com, mindmappingstrategies.com/learning-strategies.aspx, mindmeister.com, mindtools.com, mindtools.com/memory.html, memory techniques and mnemonics. mli.gmu.edu, machine learning and inference laboratory. montana.edu/teachlearn/papers/teaching strategies.html. montessori.edu. moreheadstate.edu/files/colleges/education/esu/learning-styles.pdf. motivation-tools.com. mtsu.edu11181/teaching_philosophy.htm. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. nclrc.org/essentials/motivating/strategies.htm. ncsct.org/topics/learning/faqs.asp. selflearn.com. strategiesforlearning.com. strategiesandlanguagelearning.com. studygs.net. studygs.net/metacognition.htm. studyguidesystems.com. studytips.org/learningstrategies.htm. stylesoflearning.com. stuff for sale, take a test then they sell you a custom program. successful-homeschooling.com/learning-styles.html. suite101.com/welcome.cfm/diversified_learning. teaching.monster.com. teachingperspectives.com. teachingprofessor.com/newsletter. teaching-teacher.com. teachphilosophy101.org. thefreelibrary.com. Learning Style Websites 3. thehanfoundation.org, Mindful Learning. thenewknowledge.com. thestudiegurus.com/learning-styles. thomasarmstrong.com, educator and psychologist in the fields of multiple intelligences. time4learning.com/learning-styles.shtml. todays-learners.com/learning-styles.htm. whatisme-learning-style.com. Thinking websites/how to think websites. mindtools.com. literacyworks.org/mi/home.html, multiple intelligences. nifl.gov/nifl/fellowship/cromley_report.pdf, learning to think, learning to learn. Curiosity websites/open mind websites. The public have an insatiable curiosity to know everything, except what is worth knowing. Oscar Wilde. Curiosity is defined as a need, thirst, or desire for knowledge. If you thirst for knowledge, you live for truth and beauty. You eventually realize truth is your true nature. Your natural code tells you to live by your true nature, explore what inspires you and who you are, which includes your sexual and aggressive nature, while not breaking any laws. I talk about it in my book A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment. 21stcenturyaCademy.com. active.com. Adarangadventure.com. allifmorinteresting.com. all-the-observations.tumblr.com. innovativequery.com. home.ubalt.edu/bbrownstein/papers/webteaching.html. storyofmylife.com. insighttsfour51.com. bestworldliterature.jimdo.com. curiosity.com. curiosity.discovery.com. curiouscatblog.net. curiousgoldmans.wordpress.com. curiousmitch.com, The Ramblings of One Curious Guy. daily-inspirations.com/insatiable-curiosity. daminteresting.com. deepcuriosity.com. personal-development.com. philosophyetc.net. pickthebrain.com. watchfreaks.com. waysmysteryschool.tripod.com. wikihow.com/be-interesting. wikihow.com/exercise-and-open-mind. wikihow.com/have-and-interesting-life. Great Mind websites/interesting life websites. 7steps2success.net. aboutadidam.org/readings/gorilla_sermon. abundance-and-happiness.com. accessing eourhigherself.wordpress.com. applying the law of attraction.com. ascensionhelp.com. beingeyoga.com. brainmeta.com. brainyquote.com/quotes/authors/s/socrates.html. circlesoflight.com/articles/expand-consciousness.html. deepfun.com. dreambuilders.com.au. evolvingbeings.com. galilean-library.org. Heart and Soul, The Law of Being.com. hemi-sync.com, Experience Full Awareness. hermes-press.com/expanding.htm, Expanding Human Consciousness. webspirit.com. whatisman.net, What is Man Consciousness? youtube.com, Expand Your Mind and Consciousness. Intellectual Standards. criticalthinking.org/articles/universal-intellectual-standards.cfm, Universal Intellectual Standards. Thinking Books for Sale. Advanced Brain Technologies. 2380 Washington Boulevard. Number 270. Ogden, Utah 84401. 801-622-5676. AdvancedBrain.com. Critical Thinking Press and Software. epub 448. Pacific Grove, California 93950. 408-375-0448. 800-458-4849. criticalthinking.com.